What about them?
How would you describe them?
They're very tall.
Mm-hmm.
They are light beings, though. They are beings of light. And they only come into a humanoid form so as to be seen by humans. But as far as we are concerned, we visualize or view them as light.
Oh, I see. Well, why do they show themselves the same when they are with humans as these, bluish, purplish, beautiful looking beings?
So as not to frighten humans.
I see. But you see them as light?
Correct.
And what is their planet like?
Their planet is a planet of light. It is a planet of peace and knowledge.
How come different races are different? Like, how come the Arcturians are light and knowledge? How did they get to that point?
They have ascended.
Can you tell me about that?
Their level of consciousness is the highest level of consciousness.
How did they do that?
Over the course of time. They are ancient.
I see. Would you say they are the most, the wisest and the...
Yes.
I see. And is there anything in particular that they did that other races did not do that allowed the Arcturians to ascend?
Recognize their godliness.
Oh, so it's really that simple?
Yes. And it does take time, eons of time.
I see. How did the Arcturians recognize their God consciousness?
As a whole, as a collective, they just started to remember who they were. And their frequency raised over the course of time. And also, please remember that time in the outer regions of the galaxy is not the same as time on Earth.
Can you explain?
I cannot.
Okay, so time is different.
It is fast.
Okay.
And slow at the same time.
Okay.
It's not real. It doesn't exist in terms of a framework as it does here on this planet.
I see. So for an Arcturian, what is it like for them? What is time like for them?
It is a split one of your seconds.
Oh.
But you would think that it took them a year to arrive here. And it only took them 3 seconds.
So they are obviously advanced in their technology as well, correct?
Correct.
So how did they advance in their technology as well as mentally?
They have access to everything. We all have the same access. Humans do not use it.
How can a human use that?
Well, they have to acknowledge that they have access.
How do they do that? Just by saying it, I have access?
Correct. By focusing on using more of their brain power.
Is it simply, it's that simple?
Yes.
Okay. And what would happen if a human did that?
They would become more intelligent.
I see.
Not more intelligent, not become more intelligent. They already are that intelligent.
What is stopping humans from feeling that intelligence?
Social constructs.
How can a human get rid of that?
By training their subconscious mind.
Okay. Okay.
The subconscious mind is the soul. It is the same. So to train your subconscious mind to believe that you are one with God, that you are God experiencing itself, that you are here for love, that you are here for pleasure, that all of this is for you, is how you reach ascendance.
Okay. And do you have any advice on how to go about training your subconscious mind?
We would say the first thing to do is to figure out what your current story is, what you would currently believe, and then reverse engineer it to what you would like it to be.
How do you do that? Could you just visualize, or would you do something else?
Everyone can do it differently. You can write, you can visualize, you can say affirmations.
I see. So really it all gets down to belief. If humans just believed in their godlike self and in their own power, they would ascend, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Anything else about that you want to say?
No.
Okay. Could you tell me about the Greys? Could you describe them for me?
They're small in stature. They are cold feeling, emotionless. They have big eyes and little arms. They're quite frail looking, actually. Underdeveloped is what they look like.
Why? Why do they look the way they do?
We would say it's because of their lack of emotionality.
Why do they have a lack of emotions?
They bred it out.
Why?
Efficiency.
Oh, I see. And what happened to them?
Well, they bred out their emotions so that they thought that emotions were a detriment. And they became too cold, too unfeeling. And that has made them not robust.
Oh, I see. And a lot of times clients will talk about the Greys being the one that take them.
They do.
In the night. Why do they do that?
That is their job. They're trying to figure out how to breed back in their emotions, how to nurture their babies.
Have they been successful? Have they been able to breed back in emotions?
No. Also, if your clients have been abducted, that is a contract that they made.
Right. Do Greys have a planet?
They do. I do not know the name.
Okay. And anything else about them that you notice that seems interesting?
They are interesting.
Why is that?
Because they don't understand the terror that they cause, because they are emotionless. So in some ways it's effective for them to be emotionless, because imagine how terrified they would be if they were knowingly terrifying other people.
Is there a benefit to the humans that are being taken?
Well, the only benefit is it's for their soul's expansion. They've decided to do that.
I see. And because they make the contract before they come in, correct?
Correct.
And so it's for their soul's expansion?
Correct.
I see. What could you say about Sirians?
Sirians. I have a deep connection with Sirians.
Could you tell me about that connection?
Yes. It is said to be the planet of whales and dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Water. I've had many trips there. Jasmine has.
Uh-huh.
And the sky is pink, and there's 7 sunrises, 7 suns, and 7 moons.
Oh, I see.
It's beautiful.
Could you tell me about what it looks like on Sirius?
It is pink and purple sky. It is the planet is underwater, and it's beautiful.
When some people go to a different planet in their session and they remember being a mermaid, is that sometimes on Sirius or no?
Could be.
Mm-hmm. Are there mermaids on Sirius?
Yes. Mer people, they're not typically what we think of as mermaids. They are humanoid and an amphibious species combination.
Mm-hmm.
So they have gills and can breathe underwater, but they also have humanoid features.
I see. Are there... Go ahead.
I went there. She's a starseed from many different lineages, but Earth experience is a treasured experience.
What do you mean by that?
Think about how few souls are here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the place to be. This is the golden ticket. It has everything.
Oh, I see. Well, what about people that come in with challenges? Why do they come in with challenges to a place that's like the golden ticket?
Where else would you want to have challenges? This is a good place to have solutions.
Well, why would someone want to come in with a disability?
To expand their soul.
I see.
It's a very fast way. We were speaking earlier about ascension and it taking eons time. Well, when you choose to have a lifetime that is full of hardship, when your contractual obligation is a disability, those are moments in your soul's evolution that will allow you to ascend more quickly.
I see. What about Jasmine? How is she doing on her ascension process?
She's doing just fine.
Is there any advice you would like to give her so she could ascend quicker?
She's happy on Earth.
Okay.
She's had many lifetimes on Earth, and she loves it. She feels most at home here.
Oh. Any advice on how to make her life even better on Earth?
Can you be more specific?
Is there anything that she's not doing that if she did do, her life on Earth would be so much better?
She's working on cultivating a deep belief in herself. And she should continue that.
That's great. Okay.
Assume the best.
Okay. What about the Pleiadians? Who are the Pleiadians?
The Pleiadians are a starseed lineage that comes from the Sirians originally. They share a very similar DNA.
Why do they come from the Sirians? What happened to the Sirians?
Nothing. It's just a natural split. There's a genetic split over the course of time.
What do you mean by that?
It happens in many of the alien races.
What happens exactly, this split?
There's a genetic coding that happens where now more people, or not people, races, species, how do you say it? There is genetic altering that happens, intentional genetic altering to create more races. So that is what happened. And the Pleiadians are a direct descendant of the Sirians.
Okay. And what is the Pleiadians planet like?
It's beautiful. It is peaceful. It is full of light, full of love. The Pleiadians are here to remind us that we are love.
I see. And how do they compare to the Arcturians?
The Pleiadians would be considered more empathic in terms of emotions. Arcturians have ascended beyond basic emotions of love. They are love.
I see. But the Pleiadians have deeper empathy?
Empathy and compassion.
I see. And why did they come to Earth exactly?
Well, they come to Earth to remind everyone that that is who we are. One aspect of who we are.
Does a human's life affect a Pleiadian?
No.
Okay. What about Pleiadians who have earthly lifetimes as well? How does
There are many Pleiadian starseeds here right now.
Why are they here right now exactly?
This is a good time for love and light and remembrance.
I see.
These are your humans that are the no bad vibes people.
They can't handle the bad vibes, you mean?
They're very sensitive.
What kind of advice would you give them as to how to live on Earth?
To understand their sensitivity and to see it as a gift and a superpower and not a hindrance.
How can it be a superpower exactly?
Well, we are all sensitive. Some people are just more tuned into it. And when you can reflect back that sensitivity in a harsh world, you give others hope.
Oh, okay. All right. And so a lot of Pleiadians are here living a lifetime as a human because it's a good time for this remembrance?
Correct.
I see. How can you tell if a person is an Arcturian incarnated in their physical body?
It is rare for an Arcturian to be incarnated in a physical body on Earth.
Oh, really? Why?
They're, I want to, 9th density, 10th density, very far advanced, and human being circuitry could not withstand that much power in their bodies. Even now, speaking of Arcturians, this vessel had a hard time articulating what was coming through.
I see. Anything that you could articulate now that was coming through?
No, just that Arcturians are highly developed, highly intellectual, incredibly compassionate, all-knowing beings.
If you wanted one to help you, would they help you?
They would help you. Any guide will help you if you ask.
Okay. What about Mantis Beings? Where did they come from? Is there a planet that they live on?
Some Mantis Beings live on Andromeda.
Oh, okay.
There are several types because some Mantis Beings are highly empathic beings, but they also have a masculine feel to them, which seems the opposite of high empathy.
Why did they have a masculine feel to them?
Most insectoids have a masculine feeling to them. Cold.
I see.
They're cold and darty and rational and intellectual. However, Mantis Beings are also highly empathic, which some could view as dangerous.
Oh, tell me about that. Why would they be dangerous?
Because they can feel what you are feeling. And then they're also highly rational and logical, so they can intuit what you're feeling and then potentially take advantage of you.
How would they take advantage of a human?
Well, it's very easy to take advantage of a human.
What can a human do so they don't get taken advantage of?
Be aware. Be aware that there are entities. Most entities are benevolent. Most entities are benevolent. Some entities are tricksters, and some entities are, we will not say malevolent, we will say opportunists, and they have work to do.
What kind of work do they want to do?
Sometimes they're built to inhabit certain humans here on Earth so that they can further their own agendas we wish not to speak on.
I see. Why do you wish not to speak on it?
Certain agendas are not for us to discuss and have no bearing on anything we have to say.
I see. But there are agendas?
There are always agendas. Everyone is working. Everyone has an intrinsic agenda.
Is what's happening in the government an agenda that is not human? Okay.
There are some different alien lineages in our political system. However, there is energy being put towards certain things, and human beings are the driving force of that. When human beings as a collective focus their thoughts on a certain agenda, that agenda becomes a reality. The social construct, the mind, the hive mind of the collective has agreed that this is a very polarizing event. And so whenever there is one side, there will be another side. And whenever everyone is focused in one direction, that is the direction in which things will go.
Okay.
And that is not evil.
I see.
That is just merely the way the third density works.
What about reptilians? What could you say about reptilians? Who are they exactly?
Reptilians are an ancient lineage. They have been here, always here. And they are effective in their position and their duties. They are warriors. They are they could very easily destroy entire races because they are powerful, fast-moving creatures. But they will not do that. They are under mandate.
And so do they abide by the rules and follow this mandate?
They do.
And where do they live?
In the center of the earth, generally.
So they don't have a separate planet, they live in the center of the earth?
That is their planet, yes.
I see. So is it its own planet?
Essentially.
What does it look like?
It's cavernous, it's dark, there are caves, there are tunnels.
And how do they affect humans?
Well, they've been known to walk into humans.
What can a human do to protect themselves from a reptilian?
We can always ask them to leave.
How would a human know if they have a reptilian that walked into them?
It's the same as knowing if any entity is in your body. It's not easy to know right away.
But just simply asking it to leave, would that be good enough?
Yes.
So if you just consciously focused in on your body and just asked anything that doesn't belong there to leave, would that be enough?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. What about Draconians? Who are they?
They're the same as reptilians.
So they're the same? They're just...
different names, different, but similar energy, and also it's the same as the Sirians and the Pleiadians. Genetic splits.
Oh, I see. What makes them be a little bit... So was that because of each individual soul that made them split?
No, most of these things are just intentional experiments.
I see.
Laboratory experiments, and the splitting and the mixing of DNAs. There's so many mixes of lineages over the course of time.
Oh, and what was the purpose of that?
Experimentation.
I see. So it was experimentation. So it was purposely done.
Yes.
Who's in control of all of that?
The Galactic Federation, many eons ago, has always been in charge of that.
Oh, okay. All right. I see. What about the Dracos? Are they the same as the Draconians?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What about felines?
The felines? The felines in terms of like the Sirians?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is that what they are? Okay. So they're the same as the Pleiadians?
As far as we are aware.
Okay.
They're cats. There are Egyptian felines.
What is that?
And the energy of them, the Bastat. They are gods, though.
Could you tell me about that? What does it mean if they are gods?
Well, there's the goddess, I cannot say the name. Sarah has this feline statue here.
Oh, okay.
In the stairwell.
Oh, okay. And that's a god?
It's the goddess.
Oh.
She's a black feline Egyptian goddess.
Oh.
And perhaps the Lyrans are from where she came, and that is what that god is based on.
I see.